Hey there folks, my name's Hayden. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Today we are trying to answer the questions, should Christians play Counter-Strike 2? Alright, there is a ton to talk about in this video, and one thing that's super crazy is this is the first game that I literally walked in with zero. I had never ever played the game and went in just to review it for this channel for you guys, and I was very surprised as to some of the things I found. So let's go ahead and dive on into what is the game if you don't know anything about the game. So basically, if you know nothing about the game, you win by either eliminating everyone on the other team, or if you're the terrorists, by planting a bomb that goes off, or if you are the counter-terrorists, by defusing that bomb. And sometimes there's like some modes with hostages or something like that, but I literally played like one game of that. I think it's pretty uncommon. All right, moving on to rating. This is probably the shortest rating I've ever seen in a video. I don't know what that's all about. It's just really funny. Counter-Strike is rated M for mature 17+ by the ESRB with blood and intense violence. That's all it says. That's crazy. All right, moving on into our categories. I will say that I'm going to come back to some of these because of the online world near the end, and so that's something obviously we need to talk about, but we can glance through a bunch of these based on what the game developers have created.
Look at that, MVP. MVP.
Yeah.
MVP.
So starting out with spiritual, there are no spiritual elements in this game that I am aware of. Sexual elements, there are no sexual elements in this game that I am aware of. Violence, there is absolutely violence in this game. This is going to be one of the major red flags that either for you or for a parent trying to decide if your child should play this game. I think the biggest thing is to watch some of this video, watch some of the gameplay, go watch some other videos of the violence that is in the game to see if that's something that you don't want to be around. That is one that I think could certainly go either way, and I would err on the side of maybe don't play it, you know? Like, there are other games that you could play, and so if violence especially is a big issue, be very aware that it is in this game and it is more intense than a lot of other games. Language, there is no language in the game that has been created by the developers. Again, we'll get to the online world in just a little bit. Drugs, is there any drugs in Fear? I don't think so. There's a Molotov cocktail. I don't think that counts as drugs and alcohol, really. That's in the game. Fear, is there any fear in the game? This is so funny because it's not a horror game, but there have definitely been moments where it's like super quiet, you're crouching around, and like someone can spot you, you don't know they're there, they shoot you. It like literally has made me jump a few times. So maybe, but not really, not a horror game, so take that one as you will. Positive elements, are there any positive elements in Counter-Strike? I think there absolutely can be. Like most online games, some of the positive elements that come out are playing with friends, getting better, teamwork, those types of things can be in the game. I will say I experienced more of that with random people than I expected. Like people actually being really kind and open mics being like, yeah, let's go, let's get them, good job, this and that. Like there was more of that than I expected.
Greatly done, Hayden. You're doing great so far. I support you. Greatly done, Hayden. Greatly done. We did it. We did it. We did it, Hayden.
Moving on to the negatives, however, the negatives of this game have been the worst negatives I've experienced in a video game in a long time, and that is literally just because of the open mic situation. So there are open mics where people can say whatever they want, whenever they want. Some of the people in this game were terrible. This is my notes that you probably can't see very well of all sorts of different things that I wrote down. These check marks are curse words that I heard in different things in games. So there were a lot of games that I didn't hear any, and I was so surprised that people were kind. But there were other games where it was like, wow, I feel so terrible after being in that game because of how crude, vulgar people were. my recommendation for that is you can mute people in this game. I absolutely would have if I wasn't working on this review. Another thing that I ran across that was really interesting was just the Steam names for users and Steam pictures are shown, and so sometimes there were inappropriate pictures or different things like that that you wouldn't want to be able to see, but you really can't do anything about that.
What a kind guy. Ooh, what a kind. Look at this guy. Ow! And then this other guy just stabbed you.
Another thing that I think is worth mentioning with any like large competitive game is that it can be so frustrating playing competitive games. You get frustrated with your teammates that aren't very good, all sorts of different stuff because you're wanting to climb, you're wanting to get better, all these different things that are just really, really difficult when there's millions and millions of people playing this game. My expectations of where I want to be, the amount of time you have to put in is just way too much for what you get out of it for me. Just be aware of that. It can become a time suck and a literal addiction way too easy. So please be careful with that. The very last thing that I wanted to say about this game that is really interesting that I didn't dive into because it's a free game and I don't want to spend money, there is gambling in this game in the sense that you can go unlock these chests and you might win something good. All these things are just cosmetics, so none of it actually really means anything, except these things are worth real money out in the real world, which is just crazy ridiculous. The market and different things of watching videos and other people that spent so much money, hundreds of dollars to buy different things. That is absolutely ridiculous to me. But for you to have gambling in this game when, yeah, it's a rated mature game, you still absolutely are gonna have kids playing this game. Credit cards might be linked to your Steam account, and if it is, like, you could get into some financial situations that are just not healthy. And so I would say be really, really cognizant and aware of the gambling that is in this game. And so it is not money that you should expect to get much out of. Wowzer, I feel like that was a lot of stuff. Now it's time for the Evils test. Everett and Miles, my sons, would I let them play this game? This is one that I would really, really highly recommend. I think that they play something different. I think if they really strongly wanted to play this, I would want them to be 17 or older at least, a very mature young men to play this game, because the quantity of bad words that you're going to hear is a lot. There are some games where it doesn't come up at all, which is fantastic. I actually didn't expect that. But there are other games where it is every sentence is just trash, because there is a higher intensity of violence and realistic violence in this game, and because of the online nature and crowd of this game, this is one that I wouldn't prefer for my sons to play. I think there's a lot of better options that I would guide them to well before this option. Now for me, is this a game that I feel okay playing? I feel okay playing it. I am not 17, and so this does not hit me the way that it would hit a child. I don't think that immature people should be playing this game. Unfortunately, there were some immature people that I was playing with, lots of them, most of them. I had some great games. I also had some really, really crappy games that I wish I wasn't a part of. Do I think you can be a Christian and play this game? I do. But what I would say is actually legitimately ask the Holy Spirit to press upon you if this is a game that you feel comfortable playing or not. Because if you have that little itch of like, maybe I shouldn't be playing this game, the Holy Spirit is potentially pressing on you to not play this game. If that is true, get out of there. Like, listen to the Holy Spirit and don't play it. But I think you can totally have a clear conscience and play this game, and that is fantastic. So I think my final conclusion and advice for you would be to mute the trash talkers super early. Don't put yourself around that. You don't need that. And then also, don't let this become an idol, an addiction, that you're playing ranked games and getting so heavy into it and too invested in it. It's a game. Let it be a game. Go enjoy it from time to time, especially with friends. I had a really fun time playing with Drew. Shout out to Drew. And so I think it can be a super fun game to play like that, but I think it very easily can become too much. All right, I think that's going to do it for Counter-Strike 2, the most played game today. That is crazy. Hopefully that gives you some things to think about and process through so we can think about this as Christians. You don't have to land on the same page as me, but my goal is for you to consider and think through these things as a Christian, because so often we just glance by them without doing that. Awesome. Do all the things that the YouTubers tell you to do. Follow me over on other socials and Twitch. I am streaming occasionally, testing out these other games, trying to figure out if Christians should play them. Thank you very much, guys. Appreciate you. Have a fantastic day. This is so many curse words. Cheers.